Today I'm going to train both the Hollowback Handstand and the Hollowback Forearmstand. We could also call it a Mexican handstand. I'm not sure whether you call it a Mexican forearm stand. Anyway, let's jump in. I'm going to train both together. You could do one by itself or jump in with both. I'm going to show wall options and freestanding options. Okay, so we're just going to warm up our forearm stand, so get comfortable with that. So if you haven't done this before, we can do it up against the wall, or if you're comfortable with it, we can do it freestanding. So obviously we want to be comfortable-ish, especially if we're going to go freestanding to start to play with this one. So looking to be up in this position, and notice how I can take my shoulders forwards, which makes it a little bit easier to balance, or I can extend backwards. When I do that, I have to move the feet as well. So I can start to open the shoulders and head up and back again. So I can go between the two there. So just exploring that, warming up, and getting used to that feeling when I take the shoulders open and close. Now we can do the same thing up against the wall. Watch when you kick up to the wall, it's easier than a handstand, so you'll kick up harder and faster. So here, and then I'm pushing the shoulders away, and then taking the shoulders back towards the wall. So pushing away, back towards the wall. So going between both of those. So make sure you're still pushing up quite a bit as well, but it's that open and closing. And you should feel, ideally, when you're against the wall, that your heels are light on the wall and not heavy. If you feel heavy, we want to try and get closer towards the balance point, so taking weight in this direction. Okay, now ideally with the forearm stand now, we're going to take it to a little bit of extension. So just going to start to play with bending the knees and having a target. So I'm going to do it with the box first, then I'll show you the wall version. So into my normal forearm stand, and then I'm going to bend the knees and extend backwards and just see if I can find where the box is. And come back again. Now, if you've used a box and you're comfortable to do this, but you feel like you're too far away, then we need to create a different height. We can, obviously with this box, it's got 3 different heights. I can move it around, but I could also have some mats or a yoga block or something on top of there. So I can put the yoga blocks on there and have that target to kiss and come back again. Now, if you're not comfortable doing this version yet, we can do it up against the wall and just work on that forearm balance. Take the legs down and the shoulders back, having the wall there. Just make sure that you can come back out. So now I've got that target. I'm going to look at going between the two. So straight handstand, normal shoulder position for me. Here, reach, shoulders away from the box, and then pull back out to my straight position. Same again. So back, open the shoulders, tippy toes to touch, pull back out. So it's one thing going really deep to try and touch the box. It's another thing being able to pull out, go back for repetitions. And when we touch, we just want to kiss the box. We don't want to be putting too much weight into the box. Okay, so I'm going to show, now we'll go into the handstands. So I'm going to show the option up against the wall. So you guys are still working on kick-ups, on heel pulls, so do those. So shoulders on top of hands, pushing the floor away, kicking up to the wall, kissing the wall ideally. I'm going to keep my head in the normal position, so I'm looking down towards the floor. Heel pull, come away, come back down. Now if you're still working on those, work on that technique of just the kick up, the kissing the wall, do repetitions of that, then the fingertips trying to pull off the wall. If you have that already and you feel comfortable with it, then we can start to add that shoulder movement in, where we start to take the shoulders further away from the wall. I'm going to keep looking down on the floor with this one though. So it gives me a bit more control to come back and forth between the two. So a little bit further away from the wall. Now I'm pushing the shoulder away, looking down as I go into the handstand. Notice my vision goes back to my normal handstand position. Pull away, starting to open the shoulders, pull back. So it's a little bit like our normal heel pull, but this time I'm using the shoulders to move away from the wall, which pulls my feet away from the wall. And then I go back again to reset, or go to the handstand, the straight handstand. I can start to make that movement a little bit bigger. So further away from the wall, look away, still towards the floor. And now I reset that position, straightens my body up, back, arch, touch the wall, come back in. So a little play with that one, and then do the same thing in the forearm stand against the wall. So normal position, away, pull away from the wall, normal position catch, away with the head and the shoulders, kiss the wall, come back in. So that's the two variations. So have a chop and change between the two. Watch the shoulders if you're not used to this. It's quite hard on the shoulders and the back, and depends where you get your extension and your movement from. So I'm quite tight, which makes it a little bit easier in some ways. You can be too tight, obviously, but having a bit of tightness stops you dropping into the position. Okay, what we'll do is we'll set up two boxes. To make the target much higher. So this is going to be quite comfortable, but like I say, if you're not comfortable in terms of reaching the target with the heels, you might want to have that up against the wall. So I'm just going to go into my handstand. So there's my start position. Look where my head and focal position is. And then as I come down, bending the knees, touching, coming away a little bit. So I don't need to come too far away because it's so high. And then pull back as I straighten out. So head position comes away, but I'm still looking down at the floor. Touch, reset, come back. Same thing with the forearm stand. So normal position, head comes away, shoulders open. Touch, reset back to your straight position. So there. And then all I can do is start decreasing the height, but make sure that you go back to your straight position on both of them. So have a little play with that. Rest as much as you need to. We'll start to decrease the heights and see what happens. But that gets you comfortable with knowing where the wall is, knowing where the mat is, and then you can either choose to stay at the wall or come away from the wall. So find the wall, find the mat, find the point where your toes start to go light. Try and catch that handstand, and then come back up. So I can just have the safety of having the wall, and obviously it depends what size your target is, how far away from the wall. With the forearm one, I'm not going to touch the wall, but just having the safety that the box doesn't move. So normal position, reach for the mat. So you could go single leg, step into it, but trying to pull away to that straight position with both legs at the same time. So single leg is cool to try and go as deep as you can, but I try and get the conditioning of using both legs. It's a little bit harder and will stop you from going too deep if you don't quite have the conditioning or the strength yet. So that one was better. I held the handstand without too much messing about when I came out of it. So I'm trying to get back to this position. If you're comfortable to play with the extension, so go in your freestanding hold and just try and open and close those shoulders. Now you can do this both in the handstand and the forearm stand. So I'm just going to have no target. So this is going to be how far I can go and pull back. So we want to like test the water a little bit. So find my normal home position for my handstand, and then I'm just going to go into a little bit of extension. So let the feet go back, see how the shoulders have come open, and now I come back. Check I can get into that handstand position. I'm back to my home position, feel comfortable. If that feels okay, then I can try and go a little bit deeper. And make sure I pull back to my straight. There. And then exactly the same in the forearm stand. Now just be a little bit careful if you're not used to doing forearm stand and falling over. We've got to be careful that we don't hurt your shoulder or something. So just go easy with this one unless you know how to bail out of the forearm stand. It's a bit weird. So normal home position, then start to open. And make sure you can come back. So I only do the freestanding versions if you're very comfortable with that. If not, just do a normal freestanding holds. Move a little bit, but don't go too deep into it. So that was the Hollowback handstand and the Hollowback forearm stand. Normal deal, stick any questions or comments below or send me a message, and I'll speak to you next time. Thanks, guys.